So the show is about an hour-long segment that looks into personalities, people, events, happenings, basically in the central Vancouver Island region.
Today, as part of our ongoing Seniors Connect series, we're going to look at a project called Seniors Aging Out.
Segments that we do here at Shaw TV are often pre-produced, but this kind of made a venue to cover lots and lots going on in the community, all in one show, and just get everybody together.
We have a huge core group of volunteers that really make it a great production. It's really a training room and a school for any volunteer that wants to learn more about Shaw TV.
People are more than welcome to come and access our channel and work with us to learn the skills from learning how to operate a camera to floor directing, doing audio, all that kind of stuff.
Comparable to what you would get if you went to post-secondary for school.
I'd say to anyone who is interested in hosting a segment on the show or on TV in general, first off, come down to the show, see how the other hosts are doing it, talk to the other hosts, and then after that, come on down and jump into the fire, get involved. It can be definitely be a lot of fun.
It is lively and entertaining and just a real pleasure to be a part of.
The show is largely driven by volunteers. There's only a couple of staff members that actually have hands on the show. And our volunteer producer chooses who our guests are, in exception of the music. And that's my responsibility to make sure who we have for music guests on. Just to make sure, because there's a few other little topics that go with music that we want to make sure it's all original music, that they're having an acoustic performance, and I just double check those kind of things.
My job as the director basically is to make sure that everybody's on the same page, make sure that everybody knows what they're doing. There are so many different people and so many different jobs on the show. We've got the hosts, we've got the floor directors, we've got the camera people, we've got all kinds of people, and I need to make sure that everybody knows exactly what's going to be happening within that hour, because we don't stop.
I'm one of the hosts of the show, so in addition to doing some musician interviews, I also introduce all the segments off the top of the show and wrap things up at the very end.
Revolution, and thanks for starting Revolution of supporting local TV on the show on Shaw TV.
I originally got involved with the show as a musician myself to take care of a lot of the musician interviews, and then sort of moved into more hosting. I just love the camaraderie of all the volunteers. I mean, it's quite a sizable production, especially if one that uses volunteers in television. So to share on all the successes of as the volunteer camera operator for the first time. To see someone from the community who gets a chance to share their story at a wider base they never would get to otherwise if it wasn't for being on TV. It's an incredibly positive experience.
That has fogged up camera 4.
The show has been constantly evolving since it started, and you learn what works and what doesn't work.
Not to be confused with care of BTO communities, because they're still taking care of business.
I think it would be a very different show if we were stopping and recording all the segments separately, but part of the fun is that we're going from one segment to the other segment to the other segment. It adds some spontaneity to it too, and sometimes little blips are in there too, and it's all part of the fun.
So originally the show used to be live. We used to go, I believe, at 6 o'clock on every second Wednesday, but just because of the scope of the production and the volunteers and people new in the roles, we then decided to take a step back, because once it's live, you can't stop and start, right? So we decided to take a step back, take the time, and just go live to tape. The show first started in May 2011, and it's been consistently on the air ever since then.
There's some rumors going around about what the name of the show, where that came from. And I believe it was actually supposed to be called The Snow, because we're in Canada, but someone wrote the N when they just labeled it too high, so now it's The Show. It's supposed to be The Snow. I don't know what happened there.